Hello and welcome again to another episode of One Starfish, where our mission is to help change the world one person or one starfish at a time. As always, guys, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, share. That's how we get the word out about what we do. I'm excited for our guest today. Sonia and I just met actually online, so this is the first time we're actually meeting. She is a CEO, SEO strategist, and works with brand optimization for women. And has been doing that since 2022, really helping their ratings go up in a lot of different platforms. So she can get into that, so I don't get the wrong ones on here. But I'm excited for her to get into that and how she helps people, how she got into this space. So welcome to the show, Sonia.
Thank you, Angela. Pretty excited to be here, and thank you for having me here too.
Awesome. Well, let's get into things. So, you got into this in 2022. Before that, you got into sales. You said at a university, I believe. Um,
Yeah, it was just right after graduation, my first job or during college. It was sales roles that came first
what did
opportunity.
you do in college?
My main thing was business management, and I was working part-time, and it was just organically into sales roles, most throughout and even after graduation. Yeah.
And what did you say you did in college?
Business management. That was
Business
my
management.
degree. Yeah, business management. Yeah.
Okay. What got you into that?
I would say it pretty comes from my parents. My dad always he always run his own business. I always say my dad failed 5 times. He had five business, and obviously he didn't have the help. He did it by himself, and it didn't work out. So I was with him on all of his business since I was young. So it started there. I was like, let me get into it. Maybe I'll help him when I'm older. And that's why I got into business. Yeah.
So you were raised around business then and entrepreneurship and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
My
awesome.
God.
And then you went into sales and then you invested in coaching, you told me off air. And then that's where you decided to start your own business. Tell us a little bit about that and what I guess encouraged you to invest in yourself in coaching.
Yes, I did that because, I graduated from a business degree, but I was like, okay, I didn't choose sales. It was okay, but I didn't feel that passion for it. And I'm like, there has to be more than this. I want to be working in something that lights me up or help others. And I was just searching on Google, what do I feel like this? What can I do? And that's where career coaching came into play. And that's where I found this amazing career coach. And I was watching all her YouTube videos, reading her blogs. I found her on LinkedIn. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna invest on this. I have to do it. And I did. It was very, very scary because it was my very first time investing. And I got into debt for that, but I was very scared. But I'm like, I'm gonna give it my 110% and I'm gonna get something out of this. And I did. I'm here with my own business because I found that career path. Yeah.
And you, like you said, and I want people to have heard that we went into debt to get this coaching. Um, so many people are scared to invest in themselves. They're like, when we have the money, then
Oh,
we'll invest. And sometimes you have to invest and then you'll get the money. Um, and that's just how things work. So I think that's a very good reminder of that for sure.
yeah.
And then you guys obviously decided to get into what you're doing now. Or you decided, together, however that works. And then, did you have a lot of people questioning you when you quit your sales job? I'm guessing you were doing pretty good at sales. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was so scary. It was a very stable job. It was very promising. My parents were happy, saying, "Oh my God, you graduated, you got this new job, you're gonna get a new car, your new apartment," and that didn't happen. That didn't just end up not happening. And Yeah, I remember even on my coaching calls with my career coach, sometimes I was just crying and I was like, did I make the wrong choice? And because, interviews sometimes were not coming up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I did it. I was like hesitant, and sometimes I would apply again back to the same roles, but I would just feel like it's not right. It's not right. And I just kept on going, and I found marketing as a career path, and I started testing like content creation, and then I took this SEO course, which I didn't like. It was a SEO course, so I left it on my resume and LinkedIn. And I asked my career coach, I'm like, hey, you need to give me some hands-on experience so I can have some leverage on these interviews. What can you give me? So I thought she was gonna tell me, oh, create like 1 week worth of content on my social media. But no, she found my SEO course and she's like, oh, I see you took an SEO course. Actually, I need help on my website. Do you want to optimize that and make that your project? And I was on my mind, I was like, no, I hated that course, but I did it. And oh my God, I'm so glad I did it. Um, you know, it was messy, but I was able to see her traffic double, and I'm like, okay, there's something in here. Let me explore more. And
Wow.
I just dive into SEO since then.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you didn't like it at all. And
No.
then you went and did it. And now that's what you do. Wow. I want you guys to listen. There's so many people like this is such good stuff because there's so many people that are like I know I'm in the financial industry. A lot of people I'm like, hey, come into this industry. It's a good paying industry, da da da. And then they're like, oh, but I don't like insurance and investments. I'm like,
Yeah.
sometimes you have to try things. I was the same way. It wasn't like I signed up to be in the industry I'm in. If you'd asked me like 10 years before, being like, do you want to do like financial services? I'd have been like, no, shoo me. But if you don't try, you don't actually ever know. Um,
Yes.
so try things. And even doing the course, you didn't like it, but then you still tried it after that. And that's so cool. And so what has been your findings, since there? And what's a couple, I don't know, common mistakes people make that affects their optimization and their SEO strategy? What are a couple things if people are listening that might benefit them? I mean, I think there's a lot more to it if you want more definitely reach out to Sonia. Her information will all be in the show notes. But what are a couple things or one or two things that are just major mistakes maybe people make that doesn't help them?
Oh, of course, there's a lot of technical parts, but after
Mhm.
I've been auditing a lot of website, I always see this. Let's say I'm gonna go back to career coach, right? I audit a career coach website, and it's like I want to rank for career coaching for female in finance. Let's say that, and then I'm going to her website, but not that keyword is nowhere on that copy of the website. And I'm like, how do you want to rank for the keyword that you don't even have in your website? And sometimes what I see too is that you put in your website, you put a lot about your brand language. Like, for example, for me, right? I like to call my SEO program All Eyes on You, but my audience is not searching All Eyes on You on Google. They're searching SEO services for small businesses, for a
Right.
coaching business. So sometimes we put our branding, the name of our company, our name all over the copy of our website, but you first try to speak your audience language because that's how they're searching so they can find your website. That's one,
That makes so much sense.
yeah.
So
There's
one of the
a
things
lot
that
more,
they
but
pick up is what you have wrote on your website.
yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense. Okay.
Yeah, and I
That's
feel
huge.
that
Okay.
there's a lot of disconnect also. Like, we are amazing on writing copy on social media. We can really speak the language of our audience on social media,
Yeah.
but then when we struggle to translate that in our website. Sometimes we make it more of how it looks, like the design, our brand name, our logo, but then the copy is just there's a disconnect, and that's what is hurting you, you know? Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. That makes so much sense. So that's one of the biggest mistakes people make. And then, if they work with brand optimization, what are some of the areas? Like I know you do Google. You mentioned before a whole bunch of different things. So what are all the different areas that you help people, I guess, grow their brand?
Yeah, so obviously SEO, but like I mentioned to you before, I like to call brand optimization because I really like to take my clients to on every single search engines, your audiences. That is on Google, on Bing, on Yahoo, and now we have ChatGPT. My clients are, and even myself, I find some traffic from ChatGPT, from Reddit, from YouTube. So I really like to optimize your marketing channels, let's say, right? If you have a YouTube, let's optimize those titles, YouTube descriptions. Let's write blogs so, other reporters start finding you and start referring your website on their own blog. So it's just be everywhere because you don't know where your clients are searching now. Sometimes I come across some search engines that I have no idea they exist, but people are searching for from them. So
Okay. I like that.
yeah.
Yeah, everywhere. And so when you went into that, like you were saying before, we kind of touched on it and then we went away. Some people were like, what are you doing? You're living a good job. You're going to start your own business. How did you handle that? And, do you still have some of that?
It was hard. I think I had the support of my boyfriend then that he really believed in me. I think that's what I needed it to just keep on going despite everything else. He was like, just do it, but give it your 100% and I'm going to support you. Don't stop halfway. If you already started, don't stop halfway. Just finish this.
Cool.
And that really was like the push I needed it because a lot of people, my parents were saying, "Hey, I have somebody that needs a secretary. Do you wanna go work?" And I'm like, no, no, thank you. I
Good
appreciate
job.
that, but no, it was really hard. I did have to isolate a little bit during that time
Okay.
because I just needed to be just on that safe space, I would say, because it's hard for people to understand that sometimes, especially come from my parents coming like work and big successful, and it's very like rare for you to quit your job. So I did have to isolate a little bit, so that worked, I guess, and a lot of therapy, I would say that. Therapy, because
That's funny.
it is a roller coaster of emotions. It still is. So that's why I love coaching because that's what saved me on my career, but also my mental health. Yeah.
Cool.
So
Still investing in yourself. That's really good. And your parents, your dad was an entrepreneur, is an entrepreneur. Was he supportive?
he didn't understood.
Still, eh? Hmm.
Yeah, he was like, why? And it was hard for him to understand, but he was like, okay, like, if this is what you want to do, go ahead. My mom, I think she was like the most scared, I feel.
Sort of her.
Uh, yeah, my mom, but my dad is like, okay, just go for it. And then he would just ask me, do you find anything? I'm like, no, not yet.
That sounds like
Okay.
my dad. That's so funny.
Like that. And but once I found something, he was both were happy, and actually something that was remote because we never have someone that work remote. So they were like, "Oh my God, how does that work?" Or like things like that. It was like something new for them. So it was pretty fun to watch sometimes. Yeah.
That's hilarious. And so in your first whatever, 6 to 12 months, how did you build your business? Did you obviously you're working on SEO
Yeah.
optimization and stuff. But, outside of that, did you cold call? Did you knock on doors? Like, I'm just curious, how did you actually start to talk to people?
Coaching again. So I landed my dream job right after the career coach doing SEO marketing, but then I got laid off. I got laid off from that job on 2023. And I was like, oh, what do I do? Like, I do like the corporate, but I'm like, I don't want to go back to it. I want to help more because after being on the coaching, we being around women, I really enjoy that, supporting each other too. And I'm
Mm.
like, what if I do this with clients, like one-on-one? And but I didn't know how. So I found a business coach
Okay.
and I invested in business coach again.
Again.
And that really helped me get the clarity I needed it because I was like very, my mindset was very as an employee. It was really hard to get out of it. So I really needed like the clarity, the system of a business coach to take me to a different mindset to really just be in front of clients. So I invested again on business coach. Yeah.
And what advice did they give you that you followed that helped you build your business?
Really, I felt the business coaching was like a therapy for me because it was always a hesitation to show yourself. Hey, I'm me. I'm the expert. I'm the one that is going to take your business from A, B to C. It was so hard to do it compared to be an employee where, oh, you need to do this. And then like every 2 weeks, give me a report. And that's it. But coming out as an expert, as it was really hard. She really had to go with me. I feel that it was a therapy because even posting a video, it was so hard. When I posted my first video, I had to take a week off because I was like, I cannot do this. This is too much. I'm breaking out. And she's like, it's fine. Just, we're gonna go through this. So she was very hand holding me. So it was like a therapy, I would say. But she always tell me, just do it messy, but just do it. Do it messy, but do it. And it was very messy. And I did it.
So you
So
did a video, and then what did you do with that video? You just posted it on your like things, or did you send it out to people?
it was on LinkedIn because I always, since I started my, job seeking, it was from LinkedIn. So I had like a already built connections in there.
Yep.
So she's like, let's start with LinkedIn. You have career coaches in there that maybe gonna need your services.
Right.
So that's where I started creating content, making videos, and she's like, let's create like a survey for them and you give them a freebie. What do they need from their business? And then so you can start helping creating that content. So it was on LinkedIn that I started out.
And did
Yeah.
you just post, or did you individually message people?
I started posting only and then she's like, start DMing people, start,
So I'm curious, that
like,
first little bit, because this is a work of it that I want people to always pay attention to. How many DMs would you send a day or a month? Did you figure out?
oh, oh my gosh. It was like a full-time job. It was really hard because sometimes honestly, I haven't even gone back, but I remember one day I was there like for 5 hours going looking for coaches, different type of coaches, sending connections. And sometimes on LinkedIn on connections, you get a limit because
Right.
I don't have the premium one. So you
Right.
have a limit of the
Right.
message that you can send. So I always have to go back the next
That's a
day.
big number, by the way, guys. So
Yeah.
hitting the limit, that's a big number.
I know. So I have to go every day and check back to see if they accepted my connection so I can send them a message. If that didn't work, then I have to engage on their content or their or comments so they can see me and accept my connection.
Well,
It
That's what
was
I want people to hear because that's it. It sounded like she invested in a business coach. She did a couple videos. No.
no,
No, no,
no.
no. Guys, this is the
So
reality of
dark.
business. She
Mm-mm.
invested in a business coach when she didn't have money, and the business coach helped her. Yes, but she had to go do the work.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people also do that I see. They invest in people. They invest in like, oh, they're going to this self-development thing, but then they get out and they do none of the work that was told them in the event or with the coach or whatever. If you don't follow the coaching, you might as well not invest in it. Um, we'll say that.
Yes.
But this girl, Sonia, did a bunch of work and I've been on LinkedIn. I know when you're capped out and it's a lot. So if she's capping out, she's talking to a lot of people, trying to talk to a lot of people and running the numbers because every business is a numbers business. And SEO optimization just helps your numbers run faster, which is what you want. But I want you to know that everything is still a numbers game. Every business has different numbers, how many people you have to talk to get results, but every business has their numbers. And the faster you run the numbers, the faster you get where you want to go. So that's really cool. Where did you start to see? So that was 23. Where did you start to see actual, I'm going to say a little bit of financial success? Where you started to not like stress quite as much. It'd be like, holy moly, I'm broke. I'm not having any clients. I'm sure at the beginning, I'm investing in people. Money's going out, money's not coming in.
Oh,
Okay. And then where did you start to actually start to be like, okay, you know what? This is actually working. This is exciting. Was there a point or are we still fighting for that point?
oh my gosh, this is so good. So 2024, right? I was like hustling, like you said, it was a lot of work, a lot of work. I feel that the end of 2024, I started to get my clients, and I'm like,
Okay.
oh,
So 2 years.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then on this year, I think on April, I was able to finally pay off all my debt. Yes.
Wow,
And
that's so
that was,
cool.
yeah. So I would say, I got laid off in 2023, and then I invested on this coaching on, the same year. And then throughout 2024, I was really out there. Like you said, I'm so glad you touched on that because it is a lot of work.
It
Because,
is.
business coach, that's why I feel it was a therapy because I needed that push. But then it was a lot of work. There were some days that I'm like, again, you get that thing. It's like, "Ah, did I do this right?" I even applied to jobs because it was my credit card was like
Mm.
horrible. And I already had my own apartment with my boyfriend. My boyfriend, he was paying everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, am I doing this again? Like how I did it with career coaching, but now I'm on my own thing, my own bills. I'm like, am I being like irresponsible in here or what?
So you applied
So
for jobs, but just did get them?
no, I was, yeah.
There's a
Like I
purpose.
knew it. Like even when I was on the interviews, I was just my energy was like off.
No
So of
kidding, because you're
course,
you're you're trying to get the job because you're like
yeah,
struggling, not because you want it or anything like that. Yeah. And the
yeah,
universe, God, I'm a Christian, so conspires, I believe, to be like, no, no, nice try. You can
yes.
do this.
Exactly that. And then I remember my last client called me on December 31st. I'm like, before I was getting ready for like the New Year's, and she's like, "Hey, Sonia, you know what? I want to invest. I've been thinking about it because I called her like I had a call with her like 2 weeks and she was not responding. I'm like, okay, she's not going for
Yep.
me. But she called me on December 31st and she's like, I need this for my business. I want 2024 to be different for my business and help more clients. And she paid. Oh, I was crying
That was
because
one of your first clients?
no, that was my one of my
Tech,
first client. That was the client that really helped me
that was
to
one
like,
of your biggest clients, your first biggest client. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
And I was like, oh my God, this is a sign from God. I have to keep on going. I was crying because I couldn't believe it. Like it was a big thing for me because she really helped me to be like balanced now too because I was like on negative since a year already.
Wow,
And finally by yeah, April. I paid off my debt.
that's
So
cool. 3 years.
Yeah.
And you know, for anyone listening, most businesses take 5 years before you really start to feel whatever. And most people quit in like the first year. And that's why most people aren't at all successful in their businesses because they quit way before there's any results. It's kind of like going to the gym. You go to the gym and you're like, I'm going to get fit. You go for like a week and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't lose
Yes.
100 pounds and I'm not like jacked. Oh, this isn't working. No, you got to keep working. And so, you know, business is the same thing. So I love that. And, you know, while I'm listening, some of the things that I'm guessing got you through the hard days was having that coach, having that kind of like you said, that therapy. So when you're having, because so it's going to, I always ask people, you know, how did you get through the days you didn't feel like working? Um, and so obviously that would help. Is there any other tips when people don't feel like working and they want to quit? Which obviously you did. You're very vulnerable in sharing all that. You know, what were some things beyond just nothing else was loud, like no one was hiring? But what were some things that, you know, helped motivate you to get you through those darker times?
I feel that reaching out, it really helped me to reach out to even other business, entrepreneurs that were where I want to be. And I'm like, hey, I'm starting this journey. I'm feeling like this. How do you overcame that? And sometimes they will have like calls like this with me, and that will make me feel so much
Mm,
better. Or even my other friends from the same business coaching class, we will meet even after, the meetings that we usually had inside of the program. We will meet and we're like, let's just do a co-working because I'm feeling like stopping everything today. And that really just helped me to just go one more day, one more, just one more message, one more post, things like that. And obviously, I having the support from now, my boyfriend, my parents understood a little bit, but they were like, okay,
they
you
wanted
did
you to
it
make money.
one time, you're gonna do it again. So it really helped having a support system because I feel, and I learned that because I saw my dad going through that journey
Mm,
just alone. And at the end, it didn't work out for him. So I tried to do it differently. So I'm like, what did he not do that maybe I can do? And one of the things that really resonated with me is like, have somebody, have a support system. And I feel that really just helped me. I still have people. I still
sure.
have my bestie friends, business friends that we just go and like once a month. I'm like, this month was crazy. So it does help.
That's cool. I'm
Yeah.
just reading Think and Grow Rich again, and it talks about having a mastermind group, being around people like that. So
Yeah.
that's so good. I love it. Well, in wrapping up, I always have three final questions and then anything we didn't touch on. And like I said, once again, if you're looking for any of this stuff, SEO optimization, brand optimization, reach out to Sonia. Like I said, all her information will be in the show notes. But let's get into some final questions. So first and final question is if someone is looking for their purpose, what's one sentence you would say that could help them find it?
Oh, wow. You took me back to when I was like trying to find when I had a life crisis because I was reaching out. I was like very lost and I was like, what am I supposed to do? And really, for me, it was a lot of praying and a lot of messing up to find the answer. And I say that meaning like just try things. Don't be afraid to just give that one step. You don't know where you're going to find. You don't know who is watching you that you're gonna change their life. Because I used to be so hesitant to speak, to do stuff, to get out of something. And when I finally did it, I saw the ripple effect, not only in my life, but on other people's life. And I'm so glad I just took that messy action. But I always have God as the center of everything because without that, I think I would just do not really good actions. I mean, I'm not perfect, so yeah. I think I'm going to always be looking for the answer
Okay,
that
so
of that question that you just asked me. Yeah.
okay, perfect. Second question, what's what's one quote, what's your like favorite quote and why?
Ah, oof. Say yes a lot, but say no at the same time. And I mean that from my personal experience is like say yes to that thing that scares you. It's gonna be messy, but say no a lot too, because you need to put a lot of boundaries. You're gonna go through a journey in your life that sometimes you need to put boundaries in your life with people, with situations. And once you do that, you will see you have a lot of peace in your life. So say yes to that thing that scares you. Say yes a lot, but also say no a lot more because you need boundaries, especially when you go through this journey.
Totally. What's one word or sentence you want on your gravestone?
Oh my gosh. Courageous.
I like that. That's cool. All
Yeah.
right, you run into someone in the coffee shop. What's something we did touch on today that you think would be really impactful for our listeners?
Um, I would say I'm gonna go back to my culture. If there's any Latina or if there's any person from another second language out there, girl, just go for it. I've been told that change your accent, you're gonna get a better job. Is change your accent because you're not intelligent or hang up the phone because of your accent. Girl, yes. If you're a Latina out there or somebody from a different speaks more than one language, you are perfect the way you are. Go and put your genius out there. Take it from me, from someone that was told that I need to take speech classes to lose this accent. And here I am.
I
I
like the
built a
accent.
business
It's
around
sexy.
visibility.
What
So
the heck? Oh,
yeah,
man.
I always like to tell this because I see even when the clients
Wow.
I work with other people, some way or another, you're being told to change something about you, and sometimes you believe that so much that you just hide. And I did it for many years. It was coaching that really helped me to now have a business about visibility. Like, hey, with accent and everything,
That's like an
we're
actually
good.
that sets you apart. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. If you're a Latino, or anything, but I love that. I love the Spanish accent. Like I just love it. I love the language. And so if any of you speak two languages, man, you're ahead of the population. So
Mhm.
yeah, I agree with that. That's amazing. I love that. So guys, let's go out there. Let's change the world one person or one starfish at a time. If we can help one life at a time. Together, we can help change the world. Thanks for being on, Sonia.
Thank you.